This lesson is on writing the equation of a line. The basic format for a line that we use most often is slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, where m represents the slope of the line and b represents the y-intercept of the line. There are other formats for this, but this is one of the most common that we use. Remember that x and y kind of represent your input and your output. They represent all of the ordered pairs that are going to be on the line. Let's start out with writing an equation for this line. If we want to write the equation of a line, we need those two things. We need the slope, m, and we need the y-intercept, b. Well, our slope is easiest found if we choose 2 points on the line. We want to find 2 exact points, and then we look for the rise and the run. You'll notice that this line has a positive slope. The rise is 1 and the run is 2, so our slope is 1/2. And our y-intercept is one of those points we used right there, which is the point 0, -3. So -3 is our y-intercept. So the equation for this line is y equals 1/2 for our slope, 1/2 x, and then our y-intercept is -3, so -3. And using that equation, we can find all of the other points on the line. So you could predict if x was 20, what would y be, even though you can only see a portion of the graph here. Sometimes you're just given certain pieces of information. Write the equation of a line with a slope of -2 and a y-intercept of 5. So we're just going to plug in our slope and our y-intercept. Y equals, our slope is -2, so -2x, plus our y-intercept is 5, so +5. This one is a little different. It says write the equation of a line with a slope of 0. Remember that if a line has a slope of 0, it's a horizontal line, and horizontal lines are always in the form y equals. If a y equals line has a y-intercept of 2, that means if we look at a graph, it's hitting the y-axis right here. So it must be a line that looks like this. And the equation of that line is y equals 2. This is called point-slope form. Point-slope form is what we use when we have the slope and a point, or sometimes if we're just given 2 ordered pairs like we are in the second one here. X and y are going to stay x and y, but y1 and x1 are from your ordered pair that you're given. It's a specific point on the line. X and y will still represent all of the points on the line. We have it. Our problem says write the equation of a line with a slope of 2, so we're going to still plug that in for the slope, and it passes through the point 3, 4. So that means x sub 1 is equal to 3, and y sub 1 is equal to 4. So we're going to fill in this equation. We're going to have y minus y1, which is 4, equals our slope was -2 times x minus, and x1 was 3. So we had 3 and 4. Those came from our ordered pairs. This is getting very colorful. And our slope was given to us from right here. And you'll see the x and the y stay the same. Now we're going to simplify this a little bit so it's in slope-intercept form, but we could leave it just like that depending on what the question asked. Y equals, and then distribute that -2, -2x plus 6. And then we'd want to add this 4 to the other side so that we have it in y equals form. So y equals -2x plus 10. So just to recap, we are using this formula right here. Let's see, I'm going to erase all of our arrows here. And say we took our -2 and plugged it in for the slope, and we took our ordered pair and plugged in a 4 for y and a 3 for x, and then we simplified. This equation also works if you're writing the equation of a line like this last one, given 2 points. We have the point 3, 4 and the point 1, 2. This time you might notice that we're missing the slope. If you're missing the slope, you need to calculate it using the slope formula. Remember, slope is the change in y over the change in x. So we're going to have to find the change in y by subtracting our y's, 4 minus 2 for this example, over 3 minus 1. And that gives us 2 over 2. So the slope of this line is 1. So m equals 1. Then we're going to fill in using our formula we were given before. Let's give ourselves a little more space here. There we go. Now we've got a little more space. So we found our slope was 1 by doing 4 minus 2 over 3 minus 1, 2 over 2, which is 1. And now we need to plug in our points. So our formula was y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. We can use either one of these ordered pairs for our point. I'm going to use 1, 2. So 1 is going to be my x1 and 2 is going to be my y1. So I'm going to do y minus y1, which is 2. Use a couple different colors here. Our slope is 1, and x minus x1, which is also 1 from the ordered pair. And then we just simplify. We have y minus 2 equals, if we distribute our 1, we still get x minus 1. Add 2 to the other side, to both sides, and we get y equals x plus 1. So the steps there are to first find the slope using the formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then plugging that in for slope and plugging in one of your x values and one of your y values from the same ordered pair. And that's the end of that lesson.